Hello, I'm going to show you how to wrap with a woven wrap, and this carry is called the front wrap cross carry. This is quite a basic carry, it's quite simple to start learning how to wrap with, and it's just quite forgiving, it's lovely and comfortable and work for pretty much any age. So woven wraps got what we call rails. This will be my top rail, so the hem at the top. This will be my bottom rail. Everything in the middle is called the middle rail. And every wrap's got what we call the middle marker. It's basically a little label right in the middle. This is telling you where the middle of the wrap is. You've got lots of different sizes. I like to wrap with a size 7 because it's very long and I can tie on my front so I can get loads of lower back support. But it's your personal choice. If you want a shorter wrap, you can tie on your back. Look up base sizes to find the size that works for you. Okay, so for this carry, we're going to start with the middle marker on our front, roughly here. And you want to cross the passes on the back. So grab the top rail, give it a shake, and then drape it over your back. Bring all the fabric on your shoulder. And then same here. Like that. Make sure it's not twisted or rolled because you're going to really struggle pulling the tension. Okay, so check all the fabric is on your shoulders. Don't let fabric fall off on your arm because you're going to create slack. It's going to be harder to tighten and it makes it a little bit harder. This is my pocket pass and these are my tails. I'm going to make room in my pocket pass like this and leave just enough room for baby. So I don't make it too loose. I want to keep some tension so when I pull it's safer and then it's easier and it goes quicker. So about that amount, roughly. Bigger baby maybe a bit more. And remember that you want baby to be here, close enough to kiss the top of the head for safety so we can monitor baby. Okay, I'm ready to go. So I'm going to grab a baby, bring them on your shoulder nice and high, a bit like you're burping them so they're super stable. Support baby. And then I'm going to grab the legs and then bring them through and then let baby sit in a nice deep seat. So bum, lower down the knees. That's what we want to achieve in every sling. Promote healthy hip development, and then also it means that it's easier for them to support the head because their back remain in its neutral position. So then the airways are a lot more well supported. Support baby. And what you're going to do here is grab the tail that's on top of the other. We're going to give it a little pull, and for safety we're going to pin it between our knees. This helps keep the tension but also makes it safe. And then we're just going to spread. So I'll go into my armpit, then I'm just going to spread all the way to the neck. For babies with no head control, keep arms in. And that's kind of what you want to achieve. A little bit bunched here under the earlobe for newborn. If your baby's a bit bigger, it's okay if it's a bit lower down. Bunched here, spread across the back, and then bunched at the knees so that we're not digging, so the bottom right here, the hem, is not cutting the blood supply, okay? Also, that's important to bring the bum lower than the knee so we don't create any pressure here. And when I'm here, I'm just going to pull and tighten. The pulling and tightening, that takes some practice. You'll get there, keep going. And sometimes, depending on the wrap, some are more slippery than others. Some are a bit harder to work with, especially if you're a beginner. Take your time, you'll just come. So this is what we do. We start with the top row. Some people prefer starting with the bottom row. It's totally up to you. I'm going to pull up, and you can see, I'm going to loosen it again, how much tension is coming now nicely. So we tighten just enough to support the head, and then my other hand is going to keep that tension, support baby at the same time, keep holding. Don't just gather because it does nothing. You need to pull and keep the tension. That's super important. Keep it nice and tight. And then we're going to tighten the middle rail. This has to be the tightest rail. So grab a bit more fabric and I bring it to my other hand. So this hand just holds, this hand does the pulling, and just take your time like that. And then I'm going to reach the bottom rail, so the hem at the edge, give it a good pull, and you'll see that will tighten around here. Again, we don't want to make it super tight. So basically we pull rail by rail, gives us nice even tension. And I'm going to switch tails, so I'm going to pin this one between my knees. I'm going to tighten my top tail, which is this one. We always tighten the underneath tail first, this one. Otherwise, if you make this one very tight, it's very difficult to pull the fabric for this one. I'm going to do the same here. And by that time, you should be nice and tight already, so you can go a bit quicker. So always pull away and always pull up. That stops the middle rail digging into your neck. Hold it. Keep going bit by bit. Like that. If you find that you have quite a wriggly baby and they don't like the process, you can always just grab the whole tail, pull away from you like this instead of doing strain by strain. It's okay, but it doesn't feel as nice, I find, but it's totally up to you. So make sure you keep everything nice and tight. And then here, grab the other tail, and at no point let go of the tension. Always engage your muscle, give it a good pull. If you find you still have some slack at that point, don't worry, give it a last little tug. And so it's always nice to do that because we move the cross away from the neck so we don't have any pressure. Here we're going to cross under the bum like that and bring the fabric under the knees. Now if you've got a super tiny baby, you might want to do what we call the newborn twist. So to avoid having too much fabric at the knees, this is what you can do. Just cross and roll it once, maybe twice, and then tie. And you find you've got like no pressure, no thickness here. If you have a bigger baby or you don't like twisting, you can just make sure that the fabric is evenly spread after that, like that. So you can take your time to do that so that there's no pressure and there's no weight. It's up to you, totally up to you. Wrapping is really quite freestyle, so just see what works for you as long as it's safe. It's totally fine. Then here you've got options. You can either double knot here. For me, this is a super long wrap, so I'll end up with very long tail. If I wanted short tail, I would probably go for a size 5. But I like to have low back support. That's my personal preference. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to double knot here. Always double knot. It always keeps the tension much better. There you go. We're done. So this is a single layer carry. If I wanted to create a bit more warmth or create more support, I can do a 2 or 3 layers carry. So you see how the passage cross under the bum. I'm going to grab the inner pass and you can spread it like that from knee to knee, or you can pre-flip and you'll see the other side of the wrap like this, so we can keep the airways clear a bit more easily. So you can do 1, 2, 3 layers, it's totally up to you. You can flip or not flip. Again, personal preference. Always give a little check at the knees, make sure there's no fabric pushing your legs open and there's no pressure at the knees. Like that, okay? So, when baby's asleep, you can use this pass to support the back of the head. Safety, make sure it is tight. In view at all times, you can always see baby's nose and mouth should never be covered by fabric. Baby's close enough to kiss the top of the head. And I can always keep 2 fingers between chin and chest. It's quite handy being able to do that. So we can always keep that gap. Supported back, always carry upright, supported from knee to knee to under the earlobe. If you have quite a small baby with no head control, even as they grow, you might want to grab a little cloth. Sorry, here's one. Anything, nothing too thick. I'm just grabbing a little stretchy wrap bag here. and you can create a bit more neck support. So you can roll it like that. The baby's head is even more well supported, and when they move, they can have a little bit of padding around the neck, which is quite nice. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you how to feed in it and then how to take baby out. So to feed, lots of options. If you're breastfeeding, you might want to loosen here at the knot, or if your knot is on your back, just loosen there, and then bring some slack here to your front. And then basically you want to keep pulling down until you can reach nose to nipple. It might not work. Some people prefer just undoing. It's very, very personal, so just experiment and see what works for you. I just find it's quicker to just undo, support baby. Then I just latch my baby up, and then make sure you keep safety and tension the whole time. And I'm just going to go back and tie so that I don't trip on my tails. Single knot is fine. Here we're just feeding, so we're not carrying, so it's fine to just do that. So it looks like roughly. Okay, make sure your head and spine are aligned. You can always see the nose when you're feeding. In a woven wrap, the quickest way to breastfeed is just to do it upright. Likewise, if you're bottle feeding, you don't need to loosen so much, but just make sure you've got enough space for you and the bottle so that the baby's head is not reclined and you can feed like that. Again, watch out for your tails. That's about it. And then when you're done, undo, retighten quickly, and then you can go back and tie. Like that, like that. If you find your wrap is a bit short and you want to tie at your front, or you want a quicker way to loosen, you can get one of these. It's called a sling ring. It's basically a metal ring. Make sure it is not welded but one piece, and it is the same size as the thickness of your wrap. So this is a medium thick, and this is a medium size, so that's fine. So I'll show you how it works. Pin one between your knees, place it like that. You create a little loop, and with your hand you grab the other tail, zip, bring it through, and you pull like that and fan it out a little bit. So this stops you having massive knots, which some people don't like, especially on the back. You feel like you've got a bit of a ponytail situation going on, but also it's a really quick way to loosen. You can just pull and then create some slack, and then you can retighten easily. It's always nice to have them. They're very inexpensive and they make very nice bangles as well. To take baby out, again, loosen, support, so one hand on baby, arm through, arm through. If you find you don't need to loosen, don't worry, just put your arm straight through and then remove baby. And there you go. One thing about this carrier is that it's really difficult to put baby back in. You will need to rewrap, but you're going to be a pro, super quick, and you don't need to do that. So you don't have to worry about rewrapping. You do it literally in seconds. It'll be really nice and quick. Thank you for watching. Bye.